coming up on this episode of the Spiro Podcast.
So if you put an ad in a publication like the newspaper or a magazine or something that's printed, or even on Facebook, there's going to be people that couldn't even possibly buy your product because they're not your clients. You're just you're casting a wide net out there. So the beautiful thing is if you walk into a real estate agency, besides the front desk admin, besides a couple other people that maybe work in marketing, you are going to come in contact with all of your clients. They could all buy something from you. Mm-hmm. So that is one of the nice things about our business is we know exactly where to go get people to put them into our funnel.
Welcome to the Spiro Podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. With your hosts, Todd Kivimaki and Craig Magro.
Hi, and welcome to the Spiro Podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. Spiro is a software platform. It's designed to help you manage your day-to-day real estate media business and really help you grow it and scale it as well. And we are back with another episode, the 101st episode of the Spiro Podcast. We had a great episode last week with Shannon Landers as we kind of reminisced a little bit and talked about the values and standards of building a business and growth and things like that. And again, we just can't say thank you enough to all of you watching and listening and trusting us to speak into your life and into your business as well. So let me introduce our Spiro founder and owner and co-host of the podcast, Todd Kivimaki. Welcome back to another week, Todd.
Thank you, Craig. It's great to be here, and we are early October. Things are beginning to shift a bit and change, at least in our real estate media company. And this is an exciting time. We've got a great topic today. And wow, 100 episodes. This is the 101st. I can't believe it, Craig.
Yeah, I know. The time has flown by. So again, just thank you to all of you watching and being a part of this community. So, all right. Well, this week, Todd, we are going to be talking about consistency and how critically important that is to the success of your business. And we're going to get into some kind of examples and what to do when things seem not consistent, when your schedule changes, strategies and ways of staying consistent to grow. But before we get to that, let's talk about real quick. It's conference season. So what conferences do we have coming up and are we going to be a part of?
Yes, Craig. So we have two coming up and they are both in Las Vegas and they are both the same week. So a fabulous opportunity to expand your thinking, expand some ideas, look at strategy, and also connect with the community, your community. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be at both of these. The first in the timeline is PMRE. I'm looking over at my giant calendar here. That is the 13th, 14th, and 15th. So PMRE, and we are going to be there. Shannon Landers, our VP of Product, and Nick Kellis, who you all speak to when you sign up, a good buddy of mine. We're going to be there. And happy to see you. Come find us. We have a booth there and all that fun stuff. And then right after PMRE on the 15th and the 16th is the Rep Conference. And that's Eli Jones and his team. Love this conference, was a part of it for the first time last year. And that is, they've just released their full lineup and their timeline. So you can find out more. We'll put the links below, but those are great times. Book a ticket, coming out and see us. And my team with WOW will be there as well. So Steve Musser, our director, our director of sales and marketing, and then Jess Paxson, our head of operations at WOW. So those two run the company for me. We have a large company, 13,000 shoots a year, and they'll be there as well. So come say hello to all of us. We'd love to meet you, and we're excited for this time here. It's actually the third week in November, but the 13th through the 16th, come see us in Vegas.
Yep. And if you want more information, we'll put details on those conferences in the show notes so that you can check that out. It's a great time, even if you're not really a big city, Vegas type of personality, which admittedly I am not. It's kind of nice to change your surroundings and connect with new people, and it just kind of gives you a breath of fresh air and new inspiration, new ideas. So yeah, definitely check it out. We'd love for you to stop by and say hi as well. I won't be there, but I'll be holding down the fort here in the Toledo area for us, and I'm okay with that. So, all right, Todd, Spiro updates. Our heads are just down, working hard on all the updates that we've been talking about. So really not much of an update there. However, you did just do an educational online streaming video on tasks and workflows. You want to talk about that real quick and how people can find out more about that?
So task and workflows are one of probably the most powerful portion of the system. This is the part after the shoot. This is where we're really not making money anymore. This is the part that I always saw as let me automate and streamline as much as possible. This is creating Dropbox folders, getting those to your editors, making sure the editors know what they should do, getting it back to you, quality control, and all of that. Making sure that all of those items on your to-do list are done. We've built it out. It's going to manage all of it for you. It's going to give you a beautiful dashboard to see what's going on, but it's difficult to set up. I'll just admit it. There are a lot of options because there needs to be, unfortunately, but fortunately. And we just did a webinar on it on how to set it up. So you can find that online. You can also search our knowledge base. So that is a good thing. If you're like, I'm ready to streamline that. Now is a good time in the year for me to work on systems. And that is a portion that, man, I waste so much time creating those folders. I do it differently every time. I'm not consistent with what it is. My editors are confused. And I don't like the QC in the morning, all of that stuff. So if you want to find out more, in the pink chat bubble in Spiro, just send us a quick message. We'll send you a link to the webinar. You can also find it on our Spiro Super User Facebook group. While I'm speaking about the group, the 1st and the 3rd Thursday, I do a tech talk with y'all, and you can come on in. We talk tech about Spiro or anything else in the real estate media kind of industry. So come and join me. That's in the users group, Spiro Super User Group, and that's the 1st and the 3rd Thursday at 4:30 Eastern time.
Eastern. Yep. Good deal. Good deal. As you were talking about automation, Todd, something kind of popped into my mind that related to a conversation we had this week between myself and our customer care team. Automation provides efficiency. Efficiency equals, how do I want to put it? Making more money because you have more time to spend on income generating activities, revenue generating activities. The more efficient you can get in your day, the better, because I hate boiling it down to this, but time is money, right? Your time is valuable, and what you do with that time. And just as an example, I got a message from our C3 team yesterday, a client that wanted a same day rush, which we don't really do a whole lot of, and wanted it for the price of a next day rush because we charge more for the same day rush. And this person is a VIP that we take very good care of. And they're like, should we give it to them for that price? And I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? We take really good care of them already. Mm-hmm. And when we get a same day rush, that stops our activities for our C3 team, our editing team, and the photographer that has to stop what they're doing to upload that shoot right away. Mm-hmm. That time is valuable. And I said, you know what? We already take really good care of them, and they need to understand that when they do something, request a same day rush, our time is valuable. It's worth something. So no, we're not going to give them a break on this. They need to pay the full price for that. If you don't value your time and you don't value yourself and your business, no one else is going to either.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
Value your time. Look at how can you make your processes and your day more efficient. because ultimately we want you to succeed. This is all important. So you got to look at every part of your day.
Yeah. And remember, Craig, what are all of our clients? Realtors are what? They're salespeople, right? So they are programmed to ask. That was one adjustment that I had to make when we built a sales team at WOW, is I had to understand that our sales team was always going to ask me for something. That's why I hired them to come onto the company. I want them to ask our clients for the business, right? If you don't ask for the business, how are you going to get it? You'll get some of it because people like you and they just naturally will connect and might order, but you need to ask people for their business. And that is what a salesperson does. And there was a lot of times that I would get these requests. I'm like, well, why is he asking? One of our salespeople, why is he asking? Like, I was almost offended. And our head of sales, it was like, no, they're salespeople. They're going to ask you. Just tell him no. And I did. And it was that easy. It was just like, oh, okay, no problem. And then salespeople will go and they'll pivot and they will find a way when you tell them no. So if you're a high C personality, I'm a I and a C, and C means that you want everybody to be okay. Well, it's not. If you tell people no as a C personality, your mind's going to tell you that that person's not okay. It's important to understand the personality type of the other individual. D personality, they're going to be fine. They ask for everything. D dominant personality, they're fine. They expect to have 15 no's before they get a yes. It's just a numbers game to them. It's black and white to a D personality. Right. So now Craig did bring up a good point about giving, and we're taking a little bit of a tangent here, but I think this is so worth talking about this because you all, I see these questions online and you all are processing these every day. What should I do in these situations? Now, we had a VIP come in, and a VIP, that's the top 5% of our clients. So these are people that are doing a lot of business with us. And many of them historically for many years have done that business with us. So we have a VIP program. It's a fabulous thing where they are recognized. They get certain things from our company because they're VIPs. We celebrate them. We give them a plaque. We give them social media graphics. We do things for them, special promotions. If you don't have a VIP program, go back and listen to the podcast we did. You need to have a VIP program. Craig has distinguished that this individual was a VIP, and there was some factors in your mind, Craig, that you weighed, because I think many of us, especially a C personality, and you are a C personality too, Craig, where you want everybody to be okay. You're a higher C than I am. Yeah. You're a much better person than I. And
I wouldn't say that, but I do kind of top out the S and the C in the disc profile. Yeah. So you have the personality that, hey, I just want this VIP to be okay. And this is a VIP in your area. And you made what I would say was probably the opposite decision of what I would have guessed you would have done. I'm not saying it's incorrect. In fact, I think you are correct. But just as generalization, if you ask a C or S personality for something, they're going to be like, okay, yes, you can have it. And you did the opposite. Can you explain that a little bit? Because I think we have a lot of C personalities and people that want to please others. Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head. I don't like confrontation. So, and my personality is such that I really like to serve people. And yeah, I don't know how else to put it. I like to serve people. I like people to be okay. I don't like confrontation. And I'm here to serve, right? But I think as I've grown just in life and maturity in business, and seeing how good of care that we provide for our clients, and I truly believe we do. When I've started to notice that there are other personalities, like you said, like D personalities, that will ask for everything, and I have to look for the good of the business, right? We're a business. We still need to make money. And part of my job as a business development specialist is I need to make money for this company. And I'm happy to do so. So in the role that I have in doing that, I've got I've got to fight my tendency to say yes to everything and say, you know what, we really appreciate working with you, but unfortunately, we're just not going to be able to do that. I might provide an explanation, I might not. And in this case, actually, we didn't to the client. We just say, yeah, I'm sorry, this is our rate for this. Hey, my job is to look out for the company. And I know that we already take really, really good care of them. And I need to help them understand that they need to value us as well. And so I think I've grown a little bit in being able to say no at certain times. I don't know if that explains it or not.
I think that's so great. You said something so interesting, Craig, that the client needs to value us as well.
Yeah. It's just certain personalities will just ask and ask and ask and push. And I hate to put it this way, but beat you down on price to the point where it's like, do you even really value what we're doing for you? Because we do a really good job for you. And I think I've gotten to the point where it's like, no, I'm going to fight for us and help you understand that we're part of your team. We're providing you a great service, and we're in this to make some money too. Yeah, I want my client to win, but we need to win as well. This needs to be a win-win situation. So at some point, you got to stand up for yourself and your business and the service that you're providing and value yourself. I value this company. I think we do a fantastic job. Is there room to grow? There's always room to grow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Craig, that segues into, I mean, this really is the topic of the day about consistency. It's important that you're consistent with those decisions and that you are consistently understanding and trumpeting if you have to. If it's your personality that you need to make sure that you affirm with yourself that you bring good value. You know, those words of affirmation are different for everyone. And if you typically beat yourself up a lot, you need to affirm that yourself that we bring a lot of value. We help a lot of people. We go above and beyond. Our clients love us. And because what's going to happen is you're going to get that one client that sends you into that downward spiral. I've been there. And you go, and then your brain, what it does is it jumps off the ledge and it tells you that one client out of 6,000 or 600 or however many you have, even 1 out of 100 clients is 1%. That your business is terrible. And so just that consistent thinking and even I love what Craig did there. He's just using the correct verbiage to keep that thinking high. You know, we bring good value, telling yourselves, and that's true. That's not lying to yourselves. That's not like it's not. It's just simply a mechanism of Craig understanding his personality and saying, you know what? No, this is not right. Like we bring a lot of value and we're consistent. And you know, one thing I thought of, Craig, was I went right back to the pumpkin plan.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while since we talked about that.
Yeah. So the pumpkin plan is a book by Mike Michalowicz, and he talks about how do you grow the world's largest pumpkin? And you do that basically by cutting the pumpkins off the vine that are withered, that are diseased, that are not going to be the world's biggest pumpkin. Which means you're going to cut some pumpkins off the vine that are okay looking pumpkins. They might actually, you might carve them, put them on your front porch. But if you want to grow the world's largest, that pumpkin, every pumpkin that does not have the potential to be the world's largest is sucking nutrients from what could be the world's largest. You know, I'll give you a quick example of, and I do this because I just want to show you, it aligns with consistency within our real estate media company. And this again, so we talked about Craig as I would have guessed Craig would have made the opposite decision. And again, I think he made the correct decision. But here's another example where even I went, oh, holy crap, that was a crazy decision. So we worked with a company and they were in 2 very large cities in Ohio. And in those markets, they were either the marketplace leader, so by market share, the largest real estate company in the city, or they were just neck and neck with the other largest company. So huge volumes. And we were in a program with them where we did their kind of sponsored photography. And this program became very difficult for us. We went above and beyond. We did everything they asked. We gave them a fabulous deal. We got support from them at the beginning, and then the support dwindled a little bit. And then there was a couple other things that came in. And then they changed the system, and they asked us to do 12 things that they never asked us to do before. And it became very difficult. And they weren't open to the idea that we had a better way or a more streamlined way with systems and processes, but they just had to have it their way. And we felt as though this company just overstepped and did not appreciate us anymore. And that we were basically just getting used and we were going above and beyond. And we made the decision to end the contract, end a relationship with this company.
That's hard.
We were doing 1,100 shoots a year for them. Yes. Yeah. Do the math. Okay. Real quick. 1,100, our ASP is around 250. AOV is around 250. Okay. Just a quick math. 1,000 times 250 is $250,000. Okay. Yeah. I heard from my team. I heard how much time we were spending, how frustrated they were, how the process just elongated. I looked at the numbers and they actually were under 250 because they were getting a fabulous deal. But nonetheless, we gave up hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this is a relationship that I targeted. I courted this individual along for 4 years. 4 years, I emailed her, called her, stopped in, till finally she's like, hey, yeah, why don't you come on in? I'm 4 freaking years. And I was so happy when I got this account.
Sure.
Okay. And I listened to the team. And this wasn't just a me decision. Like I pulled the entire team in and I took the information and we walked away from this relationship.
Man, that's hard.
It was hard. But you know what it did for us? It allowed us to grow. It allowed us to grow. And I'm just pulling up some numbers here. I did some digging for some numbers with Wow. So looking at my numbers, that year, the revenue we did, the next year we grew 35%.
Wow. With ending that relationship.
Correct. Taking all of that, taking that revenue out. So we took out all of that revenue, grew 35% the next year. But then look at this. The next 3 years after that, we grew 60%, 67%, and 58%.
Wow.
So that is, and it was a lot of work. But what that did is that opened up the capacity for us to cut a dying pumpkin off the vine and go find clients that appreciated what we did. There are plenty of them out there. And I want to remind you, if you're the photographer out there saying, but I live in a small city, I live in a small city, Lima, Ohio, Lima like the bean. Okay. Craig lives in a small city, smaller markets. He's attached to a little bit of a bigger, but not a huge market.
Yeah.
So there's a limited. Craig, pull out a number. So how many new listings did you see? Let's take BG, for example. There was times last year that BG would get 12 new listings a month.
Oh, if that. No, seriously. Yeah,
Yes.
I was talking with one of the main two brokers here in Bowling Green, Ohio, where I live. And I think there was one point that in Bowling Green we had, I believe it was like 6 active listings in the entire city in surrounding Bowling Green area. Yeah, it was small.
Yeah, that's a small. So, and I give you that example because it's just as feeling somewhat, as seeing myself do this, someone's got to hold you accountable just to say, hey, that's a lie. Like that's just a thought error. You know, that's your city's not too small or your industry, you're not too specific, or this thing is not the factor. There's always going to be gaps and things that you have to get around. That's just business. Mm-hmm. So don't allow yourself to tell yourself a lie. You just have to push yourself beyond that.
Yeah, man, that's to cut that kind of business, that's really challenging after you've poured 4 years of your life into trying to earn that business. Mm-hmm. But let me bring in one other point of the positive of ending that relationship, Todd. You said that the staff had brought to you a lot of concern over this program that we were trying to be a part of and go above and beyond. And the staff was frustrated. The team was frustrated. When your team gets frustrated, morale drops. Now, I understand work's not always fun. It's work, right? It's labor. But you can find joy in your work. And when you have that, man, you've got everything. So if work is suddenly not a joy and you're dreading having to deal with this client or whoever, and your morale drops, that can be a death spiral for a company. So let me ask you, Todd, what happened in terms of the staff of Wow Video Tours when that relationship ended?
I'm so glad you asked this question. We didn't talk about this off air, and Craig, you weren't in the building. Of course, we're related through marriage, so we knew each other around this time. I don't think we ever talked about it, but it's so interesting. When I announced it at morning meeting out at the table, I'm pointing at the table out here because I'm sitting in the office today. The staff cheered. They clapped.
Seriously?
They clapped. They cheered. They high-fived each other. They were excited. The blood came back to their face. It was this weight lifted off their shoulders. And I'll tell you that this was a roller coaster moment for me. So I can ride roller coasters, but I'm not like, let me go ride this thing. And we don't go to a lot of amusement parks. When I do, I ride them with my boys. And I'm always like, okay, I'm going to ride it because they want to ride. I have a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old. And so I'm not going to be the dad that's like, I can't send them on the roller coaster by themselves. So someone's got to go with them. My wife, Jessica, she sometimes goes, but it's usually me. And on a roller coaster, for those of you that don't love them, when you are standing in line, you're like, okay, this is great. And you're kind of a little freaked out because you hear the noise and people screaming. And then you get up in there and then, you're in the fun of a theme park and you're getting on to the ride and you strap in. And if you're 6'7", you're always like, oh, this, you're now confined in this roller coaster, but it's good. The boys are happy. You're looking over at your kids. Everything's good. And then you get out there and you start, you start to go a little bit and the breeze hits you. It feels good. Music's playing, whatever the theme is. But then you start to climb that frickin' hill. Okay. Yes. Because you're saying, at least I'm saying explicitives in my head and I don't swear. It's like, oh, holy crap. What did I just do? You're back in your seat and you're climbing that thing and you're looking straight up. And you're like, what did I just do? What? And there's no turning back, right? How many of y'all have gotten off a roller coaster as it's climbing up the first hill? Nobody. There is no stopping it, even if you wanted to stop it.
I'm envisioning when I quit my day job and started my business full time.
Yes.
That's that. Yes. That's that feeling.
It is. But then what happens? You get up to the top and you still are anxious and you can feel it. And then you start to go and you're still like, oh, holy crap. I have not felt this feeling in a while. But then, at least for me, and if you're the one puking, then this is not a great example for you. But for me, because that defeats the whole purpose of this story.
Right.
Because you actually get to a better point.
Yeah.
I start to enjoy it. I realize that I'm going to be okay. I look over, my boys are smiling and they're okay. And then I enjoy it. And that's exactly, those decisions are difficult to make. That's what happened in my story. And I'll tell you, just to be transparent, there'll be times that you're actually puking as you come down. Sorry for that.
I was going to say, let me jump in here. Yeah. The climb of the hill is that panic. And then the drop is the exhilaration and the, type of thing. And I'm good for a while. So, you got your scared to death, you got your fun. And then I'm good on roller coasters until you hit a barrel roll. Then I start to get the freak out moment again. You're going to have those ebbs and flows in your business where there's highs, there's lows, there's freak out moments, there's highs again. It's going to come.
So that's perfect. So let's jump right in to our main topic for today, which is all connected to what we've talked about, but that's consistency. So the highs and the lows. So I would say probably a low for us is when we don't have shoots on the day, right? I mean, that's how a lot of us judge our business, as the what's on the day, because that's money coming in or potential coming in. I still, at Wow, our media company, I don't do a lot. Every day I check our metrics in Spiro, and I check the on-site tracker in Spiro. The on-site tracker is like the air traffic control today. And I look at the number of shoots. You can quickly understand the health of your business, or it's a metric to give you an idea. But we all want more shoots on the day, right? Well, maybe not in April or May or June when it's crazy. But my point is there's going to be a day where you're going to have less shoots on the day than you want. Craig, you had this week, right?
Yeah. So normally Mondays and Tuesdays are extremely busy days for me, or if it's the slow season, they're still the days that I have the most shoots on. So I was watching my calendar over the weekend, and I'm seeing one shoot on Monday, Saturday morning. I'm like, okay, there's still weekend, realtors are going to be out there at their listing presentations. Something more will come, and by end of day Saturday and or on Sunday. So I get to Sunday, check my schedule Sunday morning, still only one shoot on Monday. Like, this is weird. I mean, yes, it's October, but it's not usually this slow. Get to the end of day Sunday, still only one shoot on my day. And within 24 hours, our system doesn't allow scheduling within that 24-hour period, I think. So I'm like, what is going on? Because September was a fantastic month for my market. And I'm like, what is going Monday? This is not, no, somebody turned the switch off and like real estate stopped in my, yeah. So there's that sinking feeling of the freak out moment, right? And so Monday and Tuesday, I think I only had 2 shoots on Tuesday. And I'm like, it's too early in the season for it to be hitting this hard, this fast. So yeah, there was a little bit of a freak out moment there. Now, Wednesday and Thursday, I was super busy again. So the question is, what's the question, Todd?
And the question is, so what do you do? How can we be consistent? How can we see Monday and Tuesday as an opportunity?
Okay.
And how can we build on that opportunity? Take advantage of that opportunity.
Sure. Well, we've kind of touched on this before. I mean, there's the temptation of, well, okay, I don't have a lot to do. I've been working hard. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, maybe go run some errands, just whatever. So, but you can do that. And once in a while, that might be okay if you've just been really stressed. But the consistency argument is, okay, I go back to prospecting new business and or checking in on clients, providing that care, staying, front of mind to your clients, in case they do get a listing that they're going to call you or schedule online. So I have that dual role of both photographer and business development specialist. So if I only have one shoot that day, I'm going to be spending the rest of my day concentrating on the business development side of things. We talked about our VIP program. Part of my day, I took all of the VIP certificates that we're going to be giving our VIPs in our various markets, got them in the frames, got that all prepped. And you find things to continue to invest in your business to grow it. Because if I'm not spending the time prospecting new business and or checking in on current clients, that's going to be, again, a death spiral where things just keep dropping off.
Yeah.
I have to stay consistent in finding new business and taking care of the business I have.
Yeah. The thing that our brains want to do is on that Monday, so it's on a day where there's less days. So in Craig's example, the Monday comes in, he's checking it throughout the weekend, realize that the day's just not going to take all. We're not going to get the day off the ground. It's just going to be 2. What we want to do is, what our brains do is exactly what Craig said, is we go, oh no, okay, there's a prom. And then there's a point in our brains that we might go, oh, last month was actually really good. So I just really owe it to myself that I'm going to enjoy this day. And there's nothing wrong with that in enjoying a day off, like in a vacuum, like one day off.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you make that into a habit and you're always justifying the lack of you filling the funnel, continuing to do business development, you will see the impact of that in a negative fashion in your business in 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months. You will see it down the road.
Yeah. Okay. Use the word funnel. I think we should explore that more. It's a numbers game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, any sales type of role or consulting role or whatever, I've heard this idea, this concept in every type of role that's sales related that I've been in. If you're not putting in the work to get a large number of prospects or make a large number of phone calls or office visits or whatever, you're not going to have at the bottom of the funnel the output. It's say you want to make 5 sales in a week or get 5 new clients or even a month. You have to extrapolate those numbers up of, well, how many touch points or contacts do I need to make to get 5 at the end of that? And it's usually a exponential number of, contacts that you have to make. You say for every 25 contacts that I make, I've discovered I get 5 sales out of it. So you got to learn your numbers. How many contacts does it make to get a certain number of clients in a certain amount of time? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's perfectly explained as to where you are going to have a lot more people that you have to talk to get people to actually say yes. If you're not consistent with filling the funnel, so that's client acquisition. So that's building relationships. We talk about this all the time, calling people, stopping by offices, board events, whatever it may be. Then you're going to have a gap in the funnel, and there'll be times as to where there's no one that's calling or no business coming in. One quick thing that we have that's beautiful as real estate photographers, we know who our target demographic is. So that's one of the nice things that we have. We know exactly who we serve, who can buy from us. Okay. The bulk of it is realtors. Okay. All realtors have to be licensed with a board, and they have to, and a broker or a company has to hold that license. And all those companies or brokerages have a list of the agents on their website. Mm-hmm. And inside that demographic of agents, you have, of course, like all industries, you have a wide variance of production. So you have some brand new people who haven't done anything yet. And you have people that have built fabulous businesses and do hundreds of listings a year. Well, listings are your potential. Okay. You can work for them when they get a listing. What happens when an agent gets a listing? It's all advertised online. Okay. So the point I'm trying to make is all the data is out there. There's some industries that it's very hard to understand where their clients are at. They have to try a lot of different things with ads or many different other marketing techniques to try to find their clients.
Right.
You can market directly to your clients, and you can, in doing that, you're not wasting any time marketing to people who are not your client.
Right.
So that's the beautiful thing. If you sell a product and you put an ad in the newspaper, if that even exists in 2024, Craig.
So you just dated yourself really bad.
Why'd I do that? Jeez, that was not smart to do.
I'm just picturing Todd sitting at the breakfast table with his cup of coffee and the paper open in front of him.
Kick back at the paper in front of me.
Kids, don't interrupt Dad while he's reading the newspaper.
Oh goodness! Somebody put me full white hair. Photoshop me, father time here because I did it to myself.
Pipe coming out of Todd's mouth. The half
Oh,
glasses
grief.
halfway down his nose. I wish those of you listening to the podcast could see it right now. Check it out on YouTube. Oh. Anyway, okay, sorry. We needed a brief moment of levity there.
We did. What was okay? So if you put an ad in a publication like the newspaper or a magazine or something that's printed, or even on Facebook, there's going to be people that couldn't even possibly buy your product because they're not your clients. You're just you're casting a wide net out there. So the beautiful thing is if you walk into a real estate agency, besides the front desk admin, besides a couple other people that maybe work in marketing, you are going to come in contact with all of your clients. They could all buy something from you. Mm-hmm. So that is one of the nice things about our business is we know exactly where to go get people to put them into our funnel. And then like Craig said, it's just a numbers game from there. You have to talk to them X amount of times. You need that many points of contact before they feel comfortable with you, before they get a listing. That's the other variable that's difficult in our business is somebody might love you, but they just have one listing a year and they'll use you for every listing. Mm-hmm. But that's why the funnel is so important. It's a numbers game. You put enough in there, the 80-20 rule always applies, and you'll get enough people that come through the funnel in the end that your business will grow.
Right. And don't take the no's personally, because of that 80%, the 80-20 rule, you're going to get a lot of no's at the top of the funnel. Mm-hmm. Don't let that get you down. And that's hard for those of us that are again, C personalities. We like everybody to be happy. We like to be happy. Nobody likes a no, but you can't take it personally. You just keep plugging away. One thing that I'm trying to start to do a little bit, Todd, and it hasn't taken off quite yet, I'll just be honest, is I'm trying to get a hold of clients that are raving fans of ours and ask them if they'd be open to doing like an informal coffee presentation with new agents in their brokerage.
Love it.
Now, again, that strategy you might not want to do if you're just a new business, because you want to go after some of the bigger fish to get business rolling. A new agent isn't going to have a lot of listings. But if you're an established company, you've been in a market for a while and you do have a lot of those bigger producers already tied up, and or there's bigger producers you don't have that are just not going to work with you. And at some point, you're going to run into that. Once you're established, trying to pick up those younger, newer agents is not, I don't think it's a bad strategy. And asking your current clients to kind of host it with you, make it worth their while somehow. I like helping the new people because it's so hard to begin with for them. Mm-hmm. But for those that persevere in the real estate business, they're going to grow. And if you get in partnered with them early just when they're getting into the market, into the industry, and you build that relationship, that's going to pay dividends for you down the road. So I would say if you're established and you're kind of hitting a plateau, spend some time developing the relationships with the newer agents.
Yeah, I love that. And do the established agents or the newer agents have more time to think and work on their business and talk to you?
The newer agents.
The newer, yeah. And we have found that consistently. Now, the two demographics here that have time for you are the new agents and then the agents in the middle. The agents in the middle are a little more established, but they're not the top agents yet. Mm-hmm. And while both the new and the middle agents will listen to you, we tend to find, this is a generalization, that the middle agents have potentially listings or money to spend with you as to where the new agents. So I think Craig's suggesting to do it in groups, to do it as a coffee. That's fabulous. You probably don't want to spend an hour or two with every new agent.
Right.
That will lay that is laying a foundation. It's just going to take longer to pay off. So I love the coffee idea. And we all know that when there is someone who is where those new agents want to be, that established agent, and the established agent is saying, hey, use your company, and this is what they've done for me. I've used them this long, and look at the media they've done for me. That is gold for you. So, and you have to buy a little bit of coffee and give the new agent or give the established agent something, throw in a free drone or concert tour or whatever.
Right.
And you have that advocate for you right there. Love that idea, Craig.
Yeah. Like I said, it's something that's just kind of popped into my mind in the last month or so. And I've asked, I think 2, and I don't have them scheduled yet. Just full transparency. This hasn't taken off, but I think the theory of this makes sense in my mind. And ask, again, you have to ask the agents that have a really good relationship with you and will advocate for you. I had something similar like that happen. I made a presentation, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, in a brokerage that we're not part of their marketing department, and we're not their preferred vendor, but an agent that I've got a really good relationship with that I've shot for a couple of years now invited us to their ninja group. So I got into a ninja group meeting, and there was about a dozen people there. And I got the invite into this brokerage office that, again, we're not the preferred vendor. And they went to bat for us. So two or three of them do use us, and the rest were not current clients of ours.
Nice.
And they shared their stories. So, just find ways to get the referral business is so powerful. And that could be a consistent thing that you work on is asking for those referrals.
In Spiro, we have a referral program for your agents.
Yeah.
And that is in their portal. It's very easy for them. We make it easy for them to open up a text message on their phone and send a link. So we have the mechanisms in there that you can use, that you can give to your good agents. They're incentivized by it. Who doesn't like to earn a little bit by giving a good recommendation? And you're not asking them to do something that's dishonest. Like, they use you, they appreciate you. Mm-hmm. So that referral program is fabulous. We use it, and referrals work. That's the best way to, if you could choose growing by one way, I think everybody would pick referrals.
Oh yeah.
Because that's where your raving fans sell for you.
Yeah. It's easy, makes you feel good. Yeah. Yeah. So the whole point of this episode is finding consistency. Your shoot days are going to vary season to season. So what you can do is, create a task list of things that I can do when I have a slow shoot day, and then go back to that list. We understand it might be the day before. You don't know for sure what that next day is going to look like. But when that day arrives, okay, here's my list of things I can work on so that you can stay focused and keep working, not in your business, but on your business to help it grow and develop. Consistency. Any final thoughts, Todd? I think we've hit this pretty good.
Yeah, I think we have. The only word of caution that I give you is on that task list, keep the same task for a consistent amount of time. So this is like, this is like running an infinite loop, but don't change your task every week, because those are more like you're switching tactics. And you just don't want to keep switching tactics, because a good strategy is what's going to pay off in the end. So even there's consistency in being consistent, which maybe I'm talking myself into a loop, but but don't try something new every time because you watched a YouTube video and now you think I'm going to try this tactic. Just do the strategy, build relationships, stick with it. And then in an extended a period of time, 3 months, 6 months, look back and see how you converted, how many people you talk to at the top of the funnel, how many people use you, and then look for how you can improve those tactics to create a better strategy. All
right. Well, Todd, I think that's going to wrap up things for this week. We just want to encourage you, don't fall into the temptation of regularly kicking your feet up when things are slow. Keep working on your business. It will pay dividends down the road. So again, guys, thank you just for watching, for listening. If you have a business question, don't forget, you can always drop us a line, hello@spiro.media. We love talking about the business of real estate media. So if you just got, hey, I have an accounting, how do I handle accounting or insurance or hiring? How do I hire effectively? Let us know those questions. If we don't know the answers, we'll find someone that does and bring them on the podcast so that we can help you continue to grow in your business. We'd like to every once in a while ask you, if you like this episode, give us a like. That helps us get get this in front of more people. And feel free to subscribe as well. That way you get notifications every time a new episode drops. So, all right, that's going to take care of it. Guys, thank you so much. Make sure you take the time, when it's slow, to be thankful for your blessings, and make sure you do take a breath on a regular basis. Have a great week.
Thank you for joining us for the Spiro Podcast, Managing Your Real Estate Photography and Videography Business. This is a production of Spiro and Wow Video Tours. You can find out more about Spiro's real estate media business management software at our website, spiro.media.